Welcome to Ben's Addiction. Today is finally the day that I have been waiting for the past 12 months and 3 weeks. The CLK500 A209 Convertible is finally ready. So stay tuned, I've got a list of 15 items to mention. We're gonna go around the car for a minute or so and then we will go for a test drive. The 2003 CLK500 V8 305 horses with M113 and 5-speed 722.6. AMG wheels staggered at the back, the AMG style front bumper and side skirt with the rear spoiler. And you can compare the rear with my CLK320 C209. Black interior with trim steering wheel and center console. Very practical 4-seater, comfortably can fit 4 adults. I would say, I can't say this for many other coupes. As you can see, the legroom is ample enough. The sport calipers and front rotors, and this one is an elegance trim too. This one has the xenon headlights as well as the front headlight washers. All 3 mirrors are dimmable automatically. Let's start the car and go for a test drive. Okay, I would like to talk about 15 things that I have on my notes. The first thing I notice is the extra lightness of the steering wheel. Because this car has the speed sensitive steering, it has the advantage of having lighter steering at parking speeds, which is great. And then on humps and bumps, this car drives better than a coupe, much better. It's not annoying at all. I mean, at this speed and with the potholes, there is no issue at all, which is kind of surprising. Second thing I noticed is the bolstered seats and handrest, and the seating position is great. The seats are also not so firm and not so soft. It gives good amounts of support, which is great. And then with the top down, the V8 sound, the exhaust noise, the way it sounds, it's just perfect. It's not too loud for me and it's not too silent. The issue that I had with my previous V8 that was R129 with M113 engine was that it was extra silent. It was very smooth, very powerful, but a bit less noise than what I wanted to get from the exhaust and the engine. But this is a perfect combination of exhaust noise and the gearbox is the next thing I want to talk about. And the way the car starts, it starts very smoothly, just like most of the conventional transmissions, smoothly. And then if you really push your right hand side foot, it accelerates in a nice way. 305 horse is enough to give you a lot of pleasure. Imagine having a car in 2003 with 300 horses. You would be one of the cars with 6-second acceleration and smooth engine like this and a great noise. Even at this time in 2024, most of the cars on the road, they have less than 200 horses. I mean, this car can be in the top 3 out of 10 cars with high horsepower and a very good acceleration and a good V8 sound. And at these prices that we have in Australia, and I've checked this in Europe and USA, I mean, for a good Mercedes CLK500 in Australia, you need to pay like 20 grand. And if you compare it to a normal E-Class now with a 4-cylinder engine, you have to pay 130,000 Australian dollars to get a car that is not even convertible and not a V8 for a Mercedes 4-cylinder E-Class. And now this classic, and it only has 122,000 kilometers on the clock, you'll pay 20 grand. I love it, the way it sounds and the way it goes. It's just so lovely. The combination of M113 and 722.6 transmission, although 722.6 transmission is not a modern by any criteria, and it does not shift quickly, but it shifts smoothly and nicely, and it drives perfectly. You can achieve 100 kilometers an hour only on 2000 RPM, which even with today's standard, I would say it's perfect. There's no noise driving on the highway doing 65 miles per hour or 100 kilometers an hour, and that's absolutely great to be on those long drives, to go and hit the road and enjoy. Another criteria on this CLK500 convertible that is really sweet to me is you can have 4 adults seated in this car without any issue, comfortably. Even the back seats are very comfortable and they are very safe. They do have 2 airbags for the sides, and they do have anti-roll bars in the headrests, which is great. So safety wise, this car is very safe. It has 6 airbags, all the stability control, ABS, great brakes with 4-piston front calipers, and sport, and I think 34 centimeter diameter of rotors at the front, which is fantastic. You've got cruise control, you've got all the good gauges and all the information you need over here. And then on some cars, if it's optioned with heated seat, that is even more preferable, because especially in Europe where weather is a bit colder, with such a leather seat, it would be great to have the top open and the heated seats on. Still, the infotainment system on this car is okay. You can enjoy your Bluetooth sound, of course. You still have the navigation, which is a bit old, but you can still use a correct DVD, or you can update it if you want to. You still get 1 cup holder over here. That's not enough for 2 or 4. There are 2 small cup holders in the back. They're not the best cup holders, and I believe 1 cup holder is not enough. Some CLKs are optioned with another or 2, maybe 2 more cup holders inbuilt the handrest, which is great, but this car doesn't have that. You get a good CD changer and all those little things. In terms of reliability, of course, M113 engine is one of the most reliable Mercedes engine ever built, I would say. There is no mechanical issue with this engine at all. There are a few oil leaks that is easy to fix. In terms of practicality and fuel consumption. Fuel consumption for me, in not a very jammed in traffic wise kind of situation, I can do 10 to 11 liters per 100 kilometers, which is still very good and considered as fuel efficient for a V8 with 5 liter and 305 horses. The gas pedal on this car is built in a way that it feels like it's low. It's very deep when you use it, and then there is a lot happening down there. If you push that pedal, you get all that 305 horses and a lot of torque. In terms of convenience, you get the front and rear sensors, which is great. You get 3 mirrors that are adaptive to the light automatically. That is fantastic. You get xenon headlights for a CLK500. You get headlight washers, which still works, and it's great feature to have. Air conditioning is perfect. It's automatic air conditioning. You do get your sports mode and comfort mode, and what sport mode does, it just keeps the rev a bit higher than normal, but still you can drive normally even in sports mode. The sound quality of the audio system is fantastic even without the amplifier and the optioned Harman Kardon. Even after 21 years, this car drives like brand new. I just have done some control arms replacements, some works on, I have replaced all tires. I have done all of the maintenance required. I have worked on the rocker cover gaskets on this car to make it leak proof. I have serviced the transmission. Basically all the fluids were changed. In the past year, yes, I have spent thousands of dollars on the roof and to make sure it's working properly. I have refurbished all the hydraulic cylinders, and now it's a very reliable car, I can say. It is ready to service the owner another 10-20 years with no issue if maintained properly. In terms of sensors, this engine even doesn't have many sensors on it. It probably have like 2-3 sensors, including one crankshaft and one camshaft sensor, unlike some other newer engines like M272 and M273 engines. This CLK with 4 seats and a good amount of boot space, I would say, is a really good practical to be classic Mercedes-Benz, and it will only go up in value. If you ever plan to buy one of these, I highly suggest to buy the V8, even if you like. The 55 is great as well, and 63. It has some issues at the early years, like head bolts and things like that, and needs a bit of more maintenance. But I think the CLK500 is the most conservative V8 that is going to give you the joy, practicality, and it's not gonna break your bank, because technically it's a reliable car with a reliable engine and transmission. And you've got this option with the convertible that you can enjoy your weekend in this car, putting a lot of miles and smiles. It's comfortable enough, it's silent enough, and it's practical enough, and it's roomy enough. I can't say a bad thing about this car really. It has the modern features, enough modern features to shame some of the cars that are built in 2020 Of course, you've got the option to choose the elegance or the other trim, which doesn't have the wood trims. Some people hate it, some people love it. I like it, I don't mind it. Both of my CLKs are elegance, which comes with this wood trim. I have no issue with that, and I think it's part of Mercedes-Benz classic history. It's a really quick car. Steering wheel is also adjustable electrically both ways, in 2 ways, which is great. And even your handrest comes with 3-step adjustments. If you do city traffics like the way I did today and stop and go, a lot of stop and goes, it shows 16 liters per 100 kilometers, as you can see over here, which is a bit scary with these fuel prices. But talking about mile per mile, well, that's well worth it, I would say. Let's give it a gas. What an engine, what a transmission, and what a suspension. It's perfect for everything. Really, this car, it's practical, perfect, quick, comfortable, and roomy. I really recommend you to buy one of these if you're after a good all-rounder V8 convertible. M113 engine is modern enough that you will get access to lots of diagnostic tools. You don't have to be worried about diagnostic these engines if it ever develops a problem. It gives you every single issues and it directs you to the point. Especially if you are familiar with star systems or if you have access to a good diagnostic tools. Okay, let's see if we can do a 0 to 100 kilometers over here. We got a back road over here which is very safe. Okay, sport mode. $60, $70, $80, $90, $100. Very easy, I would say in 6 seconds, as it should be after 21 years, comfortably. I just want to finish this video over here, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and enjoy your Mercedes and have fun. Thank you. Bye.
Let's go.